Hola a todos, it's Lacey and my husband Erasmo. Thank you for joining us on our channel, Our Life in Guanajuato, Mexico. So right now we're doing some shopping for wood, specifically for frame wood to make frames for the concrete that's going to be poured into the house, for all different kinds of things, like we're making shelves in our pantry. We are building the animal pens, and so they use the wood like this here, and they make empty boxes with the rebar that goes inside of it, something like this. And then they pour the concrete in, and then it has to stay for a day or two, and then they take the frame wood off. And so there's lots of places like this in our area where you can come and purchase secondhand used wood. They have all different kinds of options, pallets, whole pallets. They have little things like this. Looks like 2x4s, not 2x4, something smaller than that. I get so confused because we use meters and not the metric system anymore. They have all different kinds of stuff. Really thick pallets. Looks like some 1x2s and all kinds of stuff. They even have the plastic pallets over there. So Pa's picking out some frame wood. I'm not sure exactly what he's looking for. Let's go take a peek at him. Here's some thicker stuff.
Y aquellos, ¿cómo me dijo aquellos?
A 45.
Y el 35.
Estos a 60 y 35 esos. Tengo más chico de ese. Está en 25 que yo compré.
These are 60 pesos each.
60 pesos each.
So about $3 US. They even had some really big posts. And how much are these a piece, Buck?
50.
50 pesos each?
Yes.
Can I see one? Oh, okay. We're going to use this for frame wood.
Frame wood, yeah.
So 50 pesos each right now at the exchange rate is about $3. The exchange rate is now at 18 pesos for $1. So we did hire some of our construction workers to work by the meter, and when they work by the meter, they're supposed to be supplying all of their own frame wood. And then when they work by the meter, they also tend to go a lot faster. It seems more expensive, but we've kind of learned that it's really not, because if they work by the day, it seems like a much better rate for us, but then things go really, really slow because they only do what they think is worth their daily rate. But if they work by the meter, they want to hurry up and get the job done in as least amount of time as possible, because the meter doesn't change for the job. So when we very first started building the house, to better manage our finances and to kind of price things in our mind and plan, we were paying by the day. But now we have certain projects that we want to get done and we just want to know how much is it for the meter or how much specifically is it for this project, like the stairs. And when you ask for a specific project like that for the stairs, they just measure the meters and then they put how much talent they have to be able to do that job into the quote as well. So the stairs are something that you pay a lot for here because it takes a lot of talent to be able to do that. Not everybody can do it. But as far as like building a wall or a counter or something that takes less knowledge and less talent, those things are more affordable, if that makes sense. We had a lot of questions from our viewers about construction here in Mexico, and so I wanted to answer some of those questions as well. The rate for construction workers in our area depends on your talents and your abilities, but it ranges from 500 pesos a day to 1,000 pesos a day on average. And it just kind of depends on what skills you need. And so the 500 pesos a day, which is about 25 US dollars a day, that's usually for people who just do a lot of the labor, a lot of the mixing the concrete, and carrying the block back and forth. Those construction workers, they get paid less because they don't have any of the skills or the talents that a lot of the other ones do. Right, Pat?
Yes.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
I'll get in the truck. And then the construction workers that have more skills and are using a lot more of their knowledge, they get paid 800, 900 pesos a day, sometimes 1,000 pesos a day.
Sometimes 1,000 pesos a day.
Depending on their skills and the quality of their work.
Yes.
Right. So that was a really common question that we got that I wanted to address. I hope that helps somebody. And then there was one more question that somebody had. If you're hiring a construction worker in our area, at least for like a small detail is what they call it.
Detail, a small detail.
What do they call that in Espanol?
Detalle.
Detalle. Like a small detail, like a counter, or you just want something small done in your house, it'll be more expensive.
Yes.
Because they have to leave a job that they have, or they come and do it in the evening or on the weekend on their time off to do it. So they'll charge more money for that. The meter or the job will be more expensive.
Yes.
Right? Another question that we had that I wanted to address as far as building the home here in Mexico and the construction workers and everything is what does their work week look like? If they give you a daily rate, what does that look like as far as time spent? So a typical workday here is from 8 to 6.
8 to 6.
8 a.m. to 6 p.m. here. And they typically work 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. Right, Bob?
Yes.
And then they have Sundays off. And then during their day, everybody takes a 1-hour lunch break at like 1 o'clock usually.
1 o'clock usually, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the construction workers will, sit and hang out at the construction site with their lunches if it's far away from home, and they'll take their 1-hour break, or they will walk back to their house if they live in the same community as you, and they'll come back after an hour. And I'm going to end this video with a really good lesson that we learned today that anybody that's doing construction here in Mexico or maybe anywhere would like to hear from our experiences, that we always have to be keeping an eye on our materials and our workers, because there isn't so much value put into our materials that we would want there to be. And so we had an experience where somebody used a bunch of rebar for a little tiny project, and the rebar is kind of expensive. And they used extra concrete that wasn't necessary. And so a lot of our materials went for this one project that we hired someone to do, and it wasn't necessary, and it was very wasteful. We could have actually done 3 of that same project with all the materials that person used, and we only got 1 of that project. So there's just not value in the money spent on the materials, probably because it's not theirs and they're ours. So we would like things to be used properly and used smartly, and to make our finances go as far as they can.
A little farther,
Yeah. So that's a really big lesson that we learned here. We've learned lots of lessons. We even talked about starting a whole other video about just things that we've learned kind of building our home here in Mexico. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already a subscriber, subscribe. We share a lot about our home build here and a lot about our life here in Guanajuato. And we hope you enjoyed again. We'll catch you on the next one. Adios.
Adios.